Good evening. Okay. So the last time I was here, as in I was recording a video, or the last time I uploaded, was 13 December 2023. Today is the 19th of January 2024. Welcome to the New Year's. Welcome to the New Year. Yeah, it's been more than a month. A little over, no, 30 days. I don't know. Just more, a little more than a month. And not much. I don't know if it's appropriate to say not much has happened, because a lot of things have happened. So let's in my gallery, let's go back to 13 December. What did I do this day? Okay, so I went for a run on this day. I made this, but I don't know if I probably made it on the next day. Yeah, I'm not gonna count days anymore. I'm just gonna okay, yeah. And then I made the orange version of that, which I like much better. Then I went to MIT for a play that happened that Arnav was in. Then Parth's jury happened. Okay. Then my sister's engagement started. Well, the engagement happened on the 22nd. So that happened. Very cute. Very nice. So happy for her. 23rd December. Okay, this is nice. 24th December was my NID exam. It was a Sunday, and since it was in Mumbai, I was going there with a friend of mine who's in my class, my coaching institute, and we went with his car, and it was a BMW X5. And I kept saying that I don't remember the last time I sat in the back of a BMW, but I do. It was actually either 11th or 12th or maybe 10th February of 2023 in Mumbai in Anushrie's dad's car. But I wasn't really even sitting in the back. I was on Arnav's lap. But I love BMWs, and I sat in the back of that car, and it was I haven't sat in a more comfortable car, and I haven't had sleep like that in any other car. It's so I wrote something about it. Let me pull it up. It was I can't even explain it. 4:07 a.m. Sat in the backseat of a BMW X5. I can't believe I'm in one, and I can't remember the last time I sat in a Beamer. The fucking sound dampening of this thing is so good. I can barely hear the outside world. And if the roads are good enough and I shift my attention to how my feet and shoes meet the floorboard, it feels as though I'm gliding on air. This is a beautiful moment. I won't know when I'll be in one again, so I want to make the best of the 6 or so hours I've got in this. Life is a blessing. Yeah, that was beautiful. The highlight of that day wasn't even the exam or like that nice lunch we had afterwards. It was just sitting in that car. It was beautiful. It's so, I can't even, fuck man, it was nice. And I was probably in there for more than 6 hours, but that's just what I estimated. The same night, I told them to drop me off at Swargate, and from there I took a bus and I did a lot of walking, whatever. Anyways, let's go back to the chronological order. Oh, such a beautiful sunset that evening at the petrol station. Oh my god, just beautiful. Look at this. Wow. I just had a wonderful bus ride. I love Beach House. Okay, then 27 December, Arnav's birthday party. It was nice. We did this art party kind of thing where we had a canvas, all of us painted on. So that was nice. And then my birthday. Oh my god. I'm so dumb. My fucking birthday happened. Yes. I turned 19 years old. And I spent the entire day at home. Or at least like only with family. My dad gifted me this old broken scale model of a Jeep. I love it. I just have to find a good place to keep it. It was a nice day. It was mellow. For some reason it didn't feel like my birthday, and I don't know what that means. I really don't know what that means, but it did not feel like my birthday. But at the same time, it was nice. It's not, I'm not saying, I'm not crying about the fact that it did not feel like my birthday. It's just something I noticed. Yeah. And I didn't really ask for any, birthday gifts, but I probably should have, which is like the hardcover copy of, or the physical copy of Rick Rubin's book that I saw the very next day, but I didn't ask for it. So I was with Arnav this day, and I spotted my dream bike for the second time. I thought it was for the first time, but it's actually for the second time. But the first time on the roads driving, which is a Suzuki Shogun, and beautiful. This one is in white, so beautiful, and it sounded so good. Oh my god, I will cry. It sounded so good, very good, loved it. 30th December, birthday party for me and Arnav's birthday. So we do this thing every year where it's like, so his birthday is on the 27th, mine's on the 28th, and we celebrate together on the 29th, but we did it on the 30th this year for some reason. I don't remember. Oh no, because whatever. And then yeah, it was nice. So the idea that we had was that since it was like so basically it was like a Christmas themed party, and everyone was instructed to wear either white, red, or green stuff, and yeah, so we basically made hot chocolate for everyone, and Arnav made some eggnog, and what we did was we had a bowl of melted chocolate, we had toothpicks, and we had cut up fruits, and we also made these little tiny strawberry Santas. Basically, we just cut a strawberry like 2/3 of the way, and then we put a little slice of banana, and then we closed it up, and then we put a toothpick down the middle, and then we added like little eyes. It was actually originally to be done with whipping cream, but we didn't have that. Yeah, and I was there the whole day. My family was out for a trip. And then the very next day, 31st December, I was in Sarangi Vihar, and I saw this very beautiful, I think for the first time, a dual tone Maybach. Just casually there. Very beautiful. I don't know if they made dual tone Maybachs out of the factory. I mean, they do, but I don't know if this one was like out of the factory or modified, or I don't care. Though it was nice. I did sleep over at his place, which was sweet. Woke up to the next year. Damn. Okay. And then went on a nice run on the first day of the year. That was nice. I had UID exam on, I don't remember. It wasn't the 3rd, it was probably the 7th or the 9th. Whichever one is a Sunday. So I did that. Went on a couple more runs, walks. Went to MIT to sell my work again. After Optical Asylum, I just kind of wanted to get rid of a lot of the old stuff. But, I mean, I did sell some, right? So that's nice. And I went twice, and I met some nice people. I met this girl, Ria, and she bought like basically everything that we had that was Frank Ocean and Tyler the Creator related. That's the first time we saw someone like that. Just love that so much. Yeah. Then 7 January we saw a Porsche Taycan right in front of Zen Cafe, or the Zen, I don't know. Zen Cafe, the Zen Cafe, I don't know. Very beautiful. First time seeing one. I think maybe first time seeing one. Then 8 January I had a health checkup test sort of thing. And then I found this very cute picture of myself that was in this handycam actually, but I love this so much. I met Grace on the 10th of January, which was very nice. What did we do? We just walked around and talked a bunch. What else? Yeah, I went again to MIT on the 12th of January. Then here's us selling our stuff. I met Siddhi. Just a mutual. She is a mutual through ABIC on Saturday. Well, today is Friday. Last Saturday, we went to German bakery. And then what did we do? We just walked around a bunch in Koregaon Park. That was very sweet. It was very nice. I had ice cream from Naturals after a very long time there. Although I did have Naturals after a very long time. Then what else? Just met a lot of people in the middle. Finally met Arnav after a long time on this Tuesday. I saw old Vespa at the RTO. very beautiful. Just laying there, I thought it was a Chetak when I saw it from far away, but it's an old Vespa, and it had white walls, so beautiful. Oh shit! And then on the same day, I met Siddhi again. We went to camp this time, and oh my god, I feel like when you go to the same place, but with someone else, when you change one thing slightly, the whole experience sort of changes. Because I've been to camp like at least 5, 6, 7 times for like my photo walks, right? Like even more than that probably. And it's the same roads that I sort of wandered with her as well. But because like different people observe different things, so like I saw things that I didn't see before, or like that I didn't observe before, and that's beautiful. I love that, because like I could probably go with her like 3 more times and see new things every time, right? And that's beautiful. I love that. Yeah, and then that's about it. And then that was Tuesday. Today is Friday. Wednesday was a weird day. Arnav got into an accident. And some other things. And anyways, let's catch up to yesterday. Yesterday I went for the first time in my life a 10-kilometer run. I loved it. It was crazy. Like, you have no clue what you're capable of until you push yourself to those limits. I kept telling myself to push through the pain, and it was worth it. And I swear I could have definitely, even though it hurt so much, I was definitely capable of running all the way back to home. So basically I did this weird route where I was originally planning to do a 5-kilometer run only, but then I'm like, so I was basically waiting for Parth to reach home from his college so we could meet, and I'm like, I don't want to just sit around and do nothing until he comes, because I had nothing on me. I just had my phone and my headphones, but I was like, how about we just keep running until he comes? And so that's what I did. So like, it's my usual route, and then over here I went out and did this long route, and then this is Amanora bus stop. So that's where I stopped, and I could have easily, not easily, but I could have definitely gone from here all the way to here back home. So, and that would have added like 4 more kilometers. And you know, it's so like even if that would have added 4 kilometers, I would have still done another kilometer to make it 15. Yeah, but I loved it. Like, one thing I realized is, first of all, I don't know if, so this thing people call is runner's high, I don't get it. And what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that I don't get, like, that I haven't experienced runner's high, because I may have. The thing is that I don't know if I have. And what I mean by I don't get it is that I don't understand what it means. So like Aryan told me that runner's high is basically like, at one point you get this really sharp pain in your chest, and you just have to push through that, and the other side of that is like runner's high. And I don't think, like, that's probably sort of accurate, because pushing through the pain, really, like, beautiful things happen when you push through the pain. Like, this is a universal fact. But I wouldn't consider that a high. Like, I don't know if that's, I think that term is probably like keeping me back, but I definitely felt some sort of, like, something out of the ordinary, something out of the normalities of life, something you just would not normally experience. And I can't explain it. Like, it's such a weird place to be, where you're running and you're running and you're running, and your feet are paining, like your feet hurt, and your calves don't really hurt as much. They hurt later on. Like, my right calf is really, really sore, and your knees are sort of hurting, and you're getting some weird muscle strains here and there, and your legs are itching and whatever. But you push through that, and there comes a point where it is more painful to stop running than to keep going on. It's so weird, and it's like, I love that so much, because it's this weird point where yes, it hurts to run, but the moment you stop, when you think you want to like relax and like reduce the pain, it starts to hurt more. So you have to keep running. And I don't know if everyone experiences that, but I do. And I love that so much because it pushes me to keep going. And yes, it does hurt when you stop, but like one of my favorite parts of the runs is like not the actual run itself, but the feeling you get after you're done running. And it's this very, very elusive momentary state that you cannot achieve in any other way. And I don't know if there's a way to elongate that, but as soon as you're done, like your entire body is tingling. It's like it's like your cells are jumping with energy, they're dancing, and like there's like it's this fuzzing sensation, especially at your feet. And that's basically the pain of stopping, but it feels so, like, I can't even say that it feels good, because it's not like it feels relaxing or nice. It just feels ethereal. It feels out of this world. It feels like just nothing it does not make sense. It's like love, you can't put you just know it. You like it's something you can only feel, and like I can only explain in like through language how, or like my legs are like fuzzing and whatnot, but like I cannot share the feeling with you. Like you have to do it to know it. And it's my favorite part of the run, because it's like when I'm in that moment, all I can do is be that, right? There's no use of me questioning what is this, what's happening, and there's no use of me trying to resist it, because I can't. And so it's just happening to me, and I am just experiencing it. And I love that so much, because when was the last time you just let something happen to you? Like something you didn't try to have any control over, something you didn't resist, or something you didn't even like try to control. You just let it happen. You just allow it to take place. Like when was the last time you did that? And I mean, I can't remember, right? It's very almost, I don't know if it's transcendental, but I'm sort of inclined to say that word. But yeah, I just makes me want to keep running. I that's the high for me. Like that's the high for me. So yeah. And one thing I decided was like just that I figured out that I'm so capable. Like even though I'll be sore for a couple days after this, I just kind of have to like be consistent, so I build up to that. And I can easily do like I can easily like, so for now the runs that I do are like very, very random. Like I just go when I feel like it, and it ends up usually being once or twice, maybe thrice a month. And what I want to do is, it would be nice to have a schedule, but the goal I kept for me is, how about you did 30 kilometers a month and you just started from that. And like I instantly started thinking like, 30 kilometers every month for every month of this year would be so crazy. But I'm like, okay, let's slow down. So I've given myself this goal of just doing 30 kilometers for this month and see how it goes. And so far I've done 20.4, so I just have to do 10 more, which is really just 2 5k runs, and I can even do more than that, right? Because it's barely like, there's only 10 days left for the month to end, so I can easily do that, and it's a very achievable thing. And when you really think about it, 30 kilometers a month is just 1 kilometer a day, and I know sure as hell that it's very capable for me to do 1 kilometer a day, but I know that I won't be going to a run every single day. So even if I go to like okay, wait, let's do the math. I haven't done this math before, so let's assume that there's 28 days in a month, not just so we can divide it by 7, and so that's 4 weeks. So I can just go 7 kilometers a week. Yeah, 7 kilometers a week. I have done this man before, my bad. 7 kilometers a week, and that'll do it, right? And I don't even have to divide that up into multiple runs. I can do one 7K run in 1 week. So, like, and I can, just so the difference is made up, so that it adds to 30 instead of 28, I'll just do like extra half in each one of them. So yeah, that feels very doable. My god, my legs hurt. But yes, so I will do that, and I'll do it for this month, and I'll see how it goes after that. So yeah, I really encourage, like, if you're listening, if you're fucking listening to my rant, I won't call it a rant, but if you're listening to my diary entry, my journal entry for whatever reason, that's just what I've started to call my YouTube videos. It's just journal entries that I'm one sec. My bad. Journal entries that I just do when I feel like it. And last week, I think, oh my god, last week I was like, I don't know, bro, it's one of the, like, one thing I'm trying to do is really get in tune with my intuitions, with the things that I naturally feel like doing. And there's two sides of that coin. So one side is that the reason I'm trying to tune into them is because I know that that's where most of my solutions stem from. One thing I've started to believe is that most of what you need as a person to change, to improve, to get to a place where you can be more satisfied with yourself, most of that you already know. So, like, you already know the things that you need to do to become better. You just, like, and you're probably like, but I don't know. And the thing is, what I believe in, and I don't know if it's true, it's just a belief that I think everybody knows, but something else just needs to, like, spark that part of their thinking, that part of their intuition, to allow that the knowing of what to do to come forth, right? So I don't know if it's making sense, but like, so an example of what happens is, like, I do know that I have to go to the gym because I know that I don't want to keep being skinny. But everything that's sort of a barrier to entry after that, which is like, oh, but like, where will I go to the gym, and like, what exercises will I do? That's everything that comes after. The basis of it is that I know I want to go to the gym, and I should do that. Now, there's like a multitude of reasons that are contributing to this yearning or this want, right? Or this sense of responsibility, and a lot of them are external, that, oh, this guy in this YouTube video said, or like, some of my friends go to the gym, so I should also do that. But when you tune out, when you just imagine that you're tuning out, like, think of it as a radio station. Like, when you're tuning out all of the bad frequencies, all the frequencies that you don't need, and you get to the specific point where it's clarity. That point of clarity for me is that yearning, that, okay, I need to build muscle. I want to build muscle, and I want to get a little bit, I want to get fit or fitter, like. So and like I'm just basically saying the same thing, but I am feeling different. So it's so difficult for me to like communicate this. Like even if like it's not even the problem that it's a video, it's just the fact that I have to use language to do it. But like I want you to think of everything that you know or that you think you know, that you have to do or that you probably want to do, that can make your life better in whatever way. Like for some people it might be, okay, I know that I have to fix my sleep schedule, and once that frequency is clear enough and it's strong enough, then you can seek out ways to fulfill that. And for a lot of times the frequency will not be strong enough, and you will have to just take the leap of faith and believe that it will work out, right? So like I know I need to fix my sleep schedule. I know I need to start waking up earlier, and all the tools that I need to do that, like, you know, learning about what helps it and what doesn't, learning about the way your eyes perceive light, and learning about the circadian rhythm and all of that, that's the tools that come afterwards. But before that, like just the raw knowing of the fact, like in your gut, that okay, I need to fix my sleep schedule. I don't have enough of a motivation to do it. And I don't know if you know this, but like you should know that motivation is fucking bullshit. Like motivation is extremely unreliable. And what I mean by fucking bullshit is that you cannot wait around for motivation and think that it's gonna help you. You have to push. You have to like take the leap of faith. You have to start doing something even when you don't want to do it, and then hope and realize that it will work out, that it will eventually, you'll start to enjoy it, and then once you realize that it's good for you, you'll keep it up, right? So with everything, there is this intuition at the very beginning, and you can barely sometimes point a finger or like, I mean, put a finger on it or even explain what it is. It's just this knowing. And by knowing, I don't mean knowledge, I mean just like awareness, you know, like just you just know. It's so hard. Like think of the last time you had a gut feeling about something. That's what it is. You just have to tune into it, and you can tune into it easier if you live your life more with a lot more awareness, because you will start to look for, I don't know if you might start to unintentionally look for cues that are helping you with what you need to know. So it's like this, it's probably this higher energy or this power, or I don't want to put any names to it, but there is something other than you that is a force that's at work. And if you try to tune into that force, if you keep faith in that force, if you're like, and like I do this especially with the things that I make, where it's like I have to have faith that it will work out, because if I don't, then it probably won't, right? And sometimes it's okay to like start with an idea that's not fully clear, that you don't know what the end result or like how it's gonna be, or whatever it is. You just go with whatever you have in the moment, and you keep building upon it until you have something you like. And whatever faint idea you might have of some idea, the final outcome of some idea, it might end up being completely different than that very faint idea, or it might end up being very similar to it. That's like inconsequential, but just the fact that you have no control over what it turns into. You only have control control over what you can do to it in this very moment, and what you can continue to do to it until you feel that it is finished. That is exactly probably how it works with habits, with life. Like that's just life. C'est la vie, right? That is just life. And I feel this weird sense of I don't know, man, like I'm saying all these things, and I believe in this really, but I'm not employing a lot of them really. Like I have a bad sleep schedule. It's not horrible, as horrible as it used to be, but I think I should stop using my past as a metric in any way, right? Or in most ways, in most contexts, because in some contexts it's useful, but I should stop using my past as a metric of anything. Right now, my sleep schedule is bad, relative to what it could be if I gave it more time, energy, effort, heart. And that bothers me, right? And so I'm not really, I'm telling you to do all these things, but I'm not even employing them. So maybe I'll have to repeat all of these things again when I really do them, and then they'll be more credible. I don't know, you have to know that everything that I say here, it's always excusable from my point of view. Like I will excuse everything and anything that I ever say in any journal entry, because I know that I don't know shit. I just know that I have this hope that the things that I say probably have some sort of meaning and might help someone else other than me. But there's very little that I know of, because how can you know something that you haven't experienced? There's this line from the interlude. It's called Failure, from the Lil Yachty album, and this one line where he says that some people can't feel what they haven't lived or something. Wait, I have to look it up now, because it's a beautiful interlude. Yeah. I realize that some people can't feel what they haven't seen. Yes. And he's probably talking about something different a little bit, but what I'm saying is, a lot, including me, I can't believe, I can't trust, no, that's not the right word. I can't rely on something that I haven't experienced. And that's not to say that reliance or reliability is the only thing you need in relationship with anything, because the reason I avoided the word trust or belief is because belief is technically semantically wrong, but faith or trust are things that you most commonly have to do with two eyes shut. That is what faith means, like to wish that things will work out, even knowing that they won't. Just having faith that they will. It's this fine line where it's faith and it's delusion, and a lot of people will call it delusion, but sometimes you need a delusion. Like, you need something to blind you of reality, so you can reach somewhere so you can aim for something and reach somewhere that isn't in line with what we think is reality or what we think is normal. That's why you need a delusion sometimes, I believe so. But as I was saying, there's two sides of this coin of intuition, and the other side is that, and it's probably kind of the same side. I mean, it's kind of the same thing, but I guess the approach is a bit different, where and this is something Abhik told me, but I don't know if he's the one who came up with it, but it doesn't really matter. And it's that sometimes, in some situations, most of the answers that you need are hidden exactly not where your first instinct is to go. And I do realize that instinct and intuition are not exactly the same thing, but what I'm saying is, by intuition, you will be inclined to do the things do some things without thinking. And a lot of the times, the answer that you need, or the better thing that you need, or something that you didn't know you needed, is exactly opposite of that intuitive action. So, like, if your intuition when you wake up is to check your phone, it's probably the best thing for you to do is not check the phone and like get out of bed and go like under the sun, you know. So it's these two things where you have to have faith in your intuition in a specific context, but in another specific context, or probably in the same context but just a different intuition, is an intuition that you cannot rely on, cannot trust, you cannot follow it. You have to, and it's actually pretty much, it's almost the same thing, where you have to trust in your defiance of the intuition that it will take you to a better place. And it also, like, one thing is that, like, you have to try everything, right? You have to try, it's very dangerous to assume, this is what Rick Rubin said, it's very dangerous to assume, I'm paraphrasing, it's very dangerous to assume that just because you know a specific way of doing something, that it's the best way of doing it. You have to try everything, right? And what my interpretation of that is, like, one thing is that you can, trying everything, that sentence really, like, it might be misleading to some people, and they might be like, oh, that means you have to, like, get to perfection. That's not what that means. Try everything. You can't try everything, right? You can't try everything. When you think of everything, you can't try everything. But what try everything means is that you have to really let go of your natural way of doing something and try every other way and see which works. Like, the whole point is trial and error, you know. You try a different way and it fails, and you have to accept that failure with grace, because that failure is going to take you to a certain point where you will find out how to do this thing, right? Like that, like, if you have 7 ways to do one thing and you know one of them, now you have to try the 6 other ways, and you try the second way, the third way, the fourth way, and all of them fail. You have to accept the grace. You have to accept these failures with grace. You have to have gratitude towards having known that you did something that failed, because a lot of the times it's more important to know what not to do than what to do. And the answer is the 5th option, and once you get to the answer, you have to thank every other option that failed, because there's no other way you could have gotten there. And even if the 5th one worked, you still have to try the 6th one, because maybe it's better. You don't know. And even if it's not better in this context, it may be extremely useful in a different context. So you do not deject your do not forget your failures. Do not universalize. Is that a word? Like, if something fails, don't assume that it's going to fail in every other facet too, right? Like, if the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and 6th ways are failures in this context of doing something, do not get rid of them. Do not forget them. Remember and know that they might be like the best working solutions in a completely different context. So you have to, like, develop this attitude towards failure, that it's a blessing. Failure is a blessing. And I really encourage you to listen to the interlude. If I remember, I'll put a link to it, but I just want to read it out. Like, I just want to read out the lyrics. I've seen failure a few times, more recently than before, actually. You know, it's quite interesting how much more complicated things get when you become quote-unquote rich and famous. I say quote-unquote because, you know, one man's rich to the next could be a step from poverty. It's hard explaining that to someone narrow-minded, seeing the world with 2 eyes shut. You know, I realize that some people can't feel what they haven't seen. So there's no point in me trying to explain my troubles. And it's not that I don't think anyone cares, but I think, like, it's up to me to fix or deal with them, you know? I kind of look at everything like, no matter what, it could be worse. It could be worse. like, okay, like let's say if I lost a finger, I'd be like, well, I still have 9. Or even like when someone broke into my house, I felt like, well, I'm certain they needed it more than I did. Those things are replaceable, you know. It kind of just helps with stress levels to think that way. Kind of like it could be worse, and easier said than done, I'm sure. But failure that took time to understand, you know. Like failure doesn't mean defeat, but more so like try again. Shit, try even harder. Revise your steps and rewrite your future. Failure to me isn't like always a negative thing, but more so like just a way to relook at things. You know, you never know how close you are to success. God. Yeah, that's beautiful. My favorite line is like, failure doesn't mean defeat, but more so like try again. Try even harder. Revise your steps and rewrite your future. I love that phrase. Revise your steps and rewrite your future. Oh my God. Yeah. You know, another thing I've always believed in is like, everything that happens to you and everything you happen to do, right, like it's what determines your entire life. And what I mean by that is not that everything that you do has a consequence and that it is your responsibility. What I'm saying is that what I believe in is the fact that maybe, and I'm still figuring this out, but maybe there is no pre-written fate, but you're writing your fate as you go in the present, and whatever is going to happen in the future, it's not pre-written, but you're writing it as you go. Like, you are sealing your fate as you move along life, and you have no control over it. But to me, it really helps to think about this concept and like believe in this concept, because it solidifies this belief that everything happens for a reason. You know, like if somebody decides to end their friendship with me, I could be sad about that, and it's important to be sad and all of that, but I shouldn't dwell on it. The more I dwell on it, the more time I'm wasting, I feel. And instead, the way I just naturally, like, I don't know how I've built it up, but the way I naturally just tend to look at these things is like, oh, this is a good thing. Like, yes, it's a negative event, and it might cause me a little harm and hurt and pain or whatnot. Sometimes maybe not even that, but this is going to lead to good things. And it's this unwavering belief that I have that in the end everything will work out, and that like in this end, which is not a destination, but whatever is to come will always be good to me. And all of the bad things that happen are contributors that are shifting my path just a little bit so I can get to this path that I'm meant to go on. And it's literally the same way I'm looking at failures, because every time you fail, you're shifting your path just a little bit, and you're going to a better direction. And you must not, and you cannot try to control it, because that's just not how it works. It's just awareness, it's just knowing, and it's believing. It's really like it's believing, and it's having faith. And yeah, I think I should really stop using the word believing and try to use faith more often. But yeah, it's faith that you need to have, that in the end everything will work out, and it can help you. And at least it's helped me find gratitude for the worst things that have happened to me. And I'm not going to say that has negated all of the negative emotions, because they're still there, and there's some events from the past that I may think about that still, you know, like bring a pit in my stomach or whatever, and that's important, that's there. But I can choose to, and I know that I have moments where I really do feel that gratitude, and it's just so much more freeing. It's so much more like uplifting, and like it's like almost like I feel like I'm levitating by letting go of all of this baggage and being like, I'm glad it happened. Because if it didn't, I wouldn't be here right now. Like, that's one sentence I say a lot, where it's like, if everything that has ever happened to me, good or bad, never happened, then I wouldn't be here right now. And fuck, my camera's about to die. I want to talk so much more. But if everything that happened to me never happened, then I wouldn't be here talking to this video, and this video would never have been made. And it's so beautiful, right? And so it's like I'm having this feeling of love for every moment that I'm in. As soon as I like, the moment I remember, the moment I feel that this awareness of this gratitude that's always there, I just have to like tap into it. I just feel so much better. I just feel so much more positive. Like, this is my God. You know, like I don't know what I'm saying, but like, if I have to say God help me, like everything that I just talked about in this video is what God is to me. And like, that's who or what I'm doing everything in service to. And that's just life. God is not like an entity or a, like something in a photo frame or whatever. It's just, there's no symbol for God. It's just the way you live life. The way I live my life is my God. So yeah, before this dies, I want to show off this beautiful, almost sunset, beautiful skies. Oh my God, look at that. Just look at that. This is what life's about. Blue skies and orange clouds, sometimes pink. The sun will set in not in a couple hours, in a couple minutes. And it'll get dark before I know it. But this is all we have now. And that's all we live for.